In accordance with Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, if you require a disability-related modification or accommodation to attend or participate in this meeting, including auxiliary aids or services, please contact the City Clerk's office at 310-952-1720 at least 72 hours prior to the meeting. Government Code Section 54954.2. Public information. The public may address the members of the City Council on any matters within the jurisdiction of the City Council or on any items on the agenda of the City Council during the designated public comment periods. There will be 2 oral communication sessions, one for agendized items, comments about items on the agenda, and the other for non-agendized items, comments about items not on the agenda. The oral communication portion of the agenda is limited to a duration of 1 hour unless otherwise approved by the City Council. Comment time is normally 3 minutes, depending on the number of speakers. Public viewing available by live stream on the city's website. The meeting will be streamed live over the internet via www.carsonca.gov, YouTube, www.youtube.com/@City of Carson, California, cable TV, Spectrum Channel 35 and AT&T Channel 99. Carson TV app. You may also download the Carson TV app to stream the meeting. App availability. The Carson TV app is available in the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, and Amazon platforms. If you're not able to attend the meeting in person, public comment can be submitted before the meeting via email to cityclerk@carsonca.gov. The cutoff time to submit any email communication is 3 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Written comments can be dropped off at the City Clerk's office at City Hall. The cutoff time to submit any written communication is 3 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Written comments dropped off at the City Clerk's office or any email received will not be read aloud at the City Council meeting, but will be circulated to the City Council and incorporated into the record.
Calling to order the City Council meeting, Housing Authority, Successor Agency, and Public Finance Authority meeting to order for Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. A roll call. City Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Councilwoman Rojas.
Present.
Councilman Deere.
Present.
Councilman Hilton. Present. Mayor Pro Tem Hicks.
Present.
Mayor Davis Holmes.
Absent on our way.
Okay, thank you.
Now we have our flag salute by Councilman Hilton.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that. Now we have our invocation by my pastor, Pastor Quentin Odom from Tridestone Missionary Baptist Church.
Good evening, everyone. Let us look to God. Most gracious Father, we come now in the name of Jesus, thanking you for the opportunity to be a blessing to this people, to invoke your word and your will before your people. We ask it now that you would bless each and every one that is before me. We pray in the name of Jesus for each and every council member, their family, their friends. We pray that you would surround them with your peace and your love. We pray that you will give them the wisdom to operate in this strange season. Help us to see the kingdom of God beyond all that is going on, and help them to find their purpose in you beyond the politics, beyond the votes, and beyond those things that are the distraction from the life and death matters of this world. Bless them and give them wisdom even beyond their years. We pray it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that. City Clerk, any public comment for closed session?
No, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Now we have a report out from our city attorney for closed session items.
Thank you. The council will meet in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 D2 or D3 and E1 because there's a significant exposure to litigation in 5 cases. That concludes my report.
Thank you for that. 5 cases. It is now about 6 minutes after 5. We will return around 6:05. We're in recess.
Rules of decorum. No person attending a public meeting shall engage in disorderly or boisterous conduct, including but not limited to applause, whistling, stamping of feet, booing, or making any loud, threatening, profane, abusive, personal, or slanderous utterance that disturbs, disrupts, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting. All remarks by members of the public shall be addressed to the mayor or the chair and not to any other member of the public or any other single council, board, or commission member, unless in response to a question from the member. Signs, placards, banners, or other similar items shall not be permitted in the audience during a public meeting if the presence of such Hello? item disturbs, Let's be disrupts, or quiet in the otherwise chamber. impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting. All persons attending a public meeting shall remain seated in the seats provided unless addressing the body at the podium or entering or leaving the meeting. All persons attending a public meeting shall obey any lawful order of the proceeding officer to enforce the rules of decorum. Treat everyone courteously, listen to others respectfully, exercise self-control, give open-minded considerations to all viewpoints, focus on the issues and avoid personalizing debate, embrace respectful disagreement and dissent as democratic rights that are inherent components of an inclusive public process and roles for forging sound decisions. Thank you. Reconvening the from closed session, Madam Mr. City Manager, could you report out on closed session for me, please?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There was a conference with legal counsel anticipated litigation for a closed session, which was held pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 D2 or D3 and E1 because there is significant exposure to the litigation in 5 cases. No reportable action is taken. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much for that. Introductions, report from Captain Norman. Are you here? Hi, Captain.
How are you? Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
All is well.
Good, good. Listen, I just want to share some of the things that we've been doing here, Carson Sheriffs, on the 15th through the 13th through the 15th. I attended FEMA training, all in preparation for our upcoming FIFA World Cup events. In addition to that, our team will be doing the same here, Carson Sheriffs. In addition to that, on the 21st, our training bureau actually taught our team what's called the ROAR response, which was respond, observe, assess, and react training to help the deputies with de-escalation training and along with other tools that will benefit the personnel with incidents that happen within the city of Carson. On the 22nd, myself and Sergeant Moranin attended a town hall at Delamo Park in which also in attendance was Mayor Davis Holmes as well as Councilwoman Bocatia Rojas. We addressed community concerns along with engage with community members. Congratulations on the grand reopening of Fascia Park. Lieutenant Lumpkin attended along with city officials, were present and celebrated the grand reopening with a rare ribbon cutting ceremony. On the 2nd, we hosted our station along with the Carson Station. Sheriff's Support Foundation hosted a golf tournament that was attended by the Carson Station personnel, alumni, department members, and sponsors also attended the event. Thank you to the city for supporting Carson Sheriffs and sponsoring a portion of that golf tournament. today we actually had a team meeting with Carson's public safety team, along with our station and our emergency operations bureau. We participated in a meeting in preparation for the upcoming FIFA World Cup events. There were some inquiries that I received regarding city concerns. Just to bring to your attention, our vehicle burglaries for the year from 2024 to 2025 decreased by around 21.2%. Our grand theft autos decreased by 15.6%, and streetcar racing and takeovers decreased by around 70%. Right now, our part one crimes overall are trending down at 10.2%. Do you have any questions?
Thank you for that report. My colleagues, you have any questions? Thank you, Captain,
All right.
for that thorough report.
Yes,
Appreciate
ma'am.
you. Okay.
Looking forward. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Good evening. Now we'll have a report from Captain Assistant Chief Kane from the Los Angeles County Fire Department.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council. Assistant Chief Brian Kane, Los Angeles County Fire Department, with your public safety report for the month of January. During January 2026, crews responded to 22 outside rubbish fires. 12 of those were involving persons experiencing homelessness, which are frequently occurring along freeways, rail lines, and city streets. These incidents were generally small, including trash, mattresses, encampment fires, and were quickly extinguished with no exposure threats. Several responses were determined to be non-emergent or no fire situations, such as a recycling yard operation and a freeway smoke investigation where no fire was found. More significant incidents included a structure fire involving heavy fire in an attached garage of a two-story residence on South Wellfleet Avenue, which required offensive operations in a command establishment, and a minor oven fire in a multifamily residence that was out upon arrival and required ventilation from our fire crews on scene. Crews also handled a large vehicle fire and multiple non-fire emergencies, including gas leaks, electrical hazards, transformer explosion that caused a power outage and a minor vehicle damage. Overall incidents during the month were handled efficiently with no reported injuries and minimal loss. There were 986 total responses for the month of January. 823 patients were seen and transported. 512 of those patients were ALS in nature, requiring paramedic interventions. And there were 373 that also required further interventions once they reached the hospital as well. That is the end of my public safety report, unless there's any further questions.
Any questions from my colleagues? Hearing none, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Assistant Chief, good seeing you as usual.
Likewise. Very good to see you as well. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
I'm going to skip to item number 6. We're going to do our proclamations and
You want to do the foresee a video while everybody's here?
oh, that's a good idea. Let's do is it ready, the Facile video? Because we have a full house. Is it ready? Okay, let's show that one now. Omar Fatasi, we're all here together. Omar Fatasi, we're all here together to celebrate the grand opening of Facile Park. It's a wonderful day in the city of Carson because parks are for people. Parks is where we all come together under one accord and we enjoy each other. And this park meant so much for me because James Facile was a city employee. He's one that mentored me when I was coming up through the ranks. And this was a wonderful tribute to all the work that he's done to enhance this community. Not only this community, but all parks in the city of Carson. Oh, that was quick, brief, and to the point. Okay, we'll go to item number 6, the Black History recognition. We're going to do all of items 6, 7, 8, 9 in that order. 6 is February's Black History Month, Councilman Hilton. 7 is recognizing February as American Heart Month, MPT Hicks. Proclamation recognizing Women's Heart Week is me. Proclamation recognizing the Dominican Republic is Councilwoman Rojas. First one is Black History Month.
And for our Black History Month, we are honoring Mr. Roy Love.
Oh, 6.
Now I see why so many alphas is here tonight.
1119.
Like, were they having was they having an alpha convention? Now I see paying homage, giving deference. Mr. Love, if you don't mind standing for us tonight. Proclamation honoring Roy Love, a veteran and a 90-year-old resident of Carson, California, for 66 years. Roy Love was, that's some good clapping right there. Roy Love was born in Monroe, Louisiana, where he attended and graduated from Carroll High School as a student body president. Upon graduation, Roy enrolled at Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where he was an honor student and pledged into the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Upon his completion of duty in the United States Army, Roy made California his home. Roy married Betty Jenkins, the love of his life, in 1960, in July 1960. Roy was an employee with the Los Angeles County Juvenile Hall as a probation officer for 31 years. To this union, 3 children were born, Royce, Roderick, and Roy. Roy has been a charter member of the Martin Luther King Jr. Democratic Club since its inception in 1972 with the late founder Quincy Beavers. His lifelong dedication to his family, years of exceptional service, and unwavering commitment to his community membership in Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, Martin Luther King Jr. Democratic Club, and his U.S. military service, we present our Black History Proclamation to Mr. Roy Love. This proclamation honoring Roy Love for a lifetime of service and community leadership. Whereas Roy Love is a proud veteran of the United States Army and a distinguished resident of the city of Carson, where he has lived for more than 66 years, contributing meaningful to the strengthening and the character of the community. Whereas following his honorable military service, Roy Love chose California as home, and in July 1960, Betty Jenkins, the love of his life, began devoted union through which they raised 3 children. Roy Love dedicated 31 years of exemplary public service to Los Angeles County Juvenile Hall as a probation officer, where he served with integrity, compassion, and steadfast commitment to the rehabilitation and guidance of youth. Roy Love has been a charter member of the Martin Luther King Democratic Club since its inception. Through his enduring commitment to family, honorable military service, professional excellence, fraternal leadership, and Alpha Phi Alpha, and unwavering service to the Carson community, Roy Love has exemplified the highest ideals of leadership, service, and citizenship. Now, therefore, the mayor and the city council of Carson, California, hereby recognize and honor Roy Love for his lifetime of service, leadership, and community dedication, and express our deepest gratitude for his lasting contributions to the city of Carson.
Oh, great. Oh, I don't know how How much to thank you. I see my brothers here. I see many commissioners that I served with. I see Jim there. And of course, I got my councilman, and of course, my council lady who left and became the
Your mayor.
And her son is also a brother of mine. And of course, the man who's running it, the city manager. And many people here, frankly, I'm just thrilled. I couldn't believe it. They didn't tell me all of what's been going on. And of course, I've been to, his church, and it's outstanding. As a matter of fact, I do some work for you guys too. Right. You know that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But it's excellent. It's just outstanding. And my wife, of course, has been a stalwart worker, constant person for me. She and the Deltas, and of course Delta. All right. But it really is. I just did not know how big this is and how things turned out. So this point, rather than going to, even though those 31 years, they weren't all as a probation officer. I also was in the chief administrative office of the county, and I served on a number of job training partnership act boards, and I wrote the ordinance for the Women's Commission, for the Commission on the Status of Women, and also did another one for the Indian Commission for the city of Los Angeles, and I did a few other things, yeah, quite a few, but we won't go into quite a few, matter of fact, it's almost too numerous to mention. So I'm just proud, and again, that just remember I'm still here to work, and I was here, thanks to this lady, until at least the end of November. I was, so at any rate, don't want to go too long, and I'm going to give this back to the mayor. Okay.
Thank
Let's
you.
take a picture, Mr. Love.
I would like to take a picture of Mr. Love and then Mrs. Love to come down shortly, as soon as we take his, okay? Come over a bit. No, we'll get, no, this is for you. Mrs. Love? Where's Mrs. Love? Where's the kids? Any kids, family members here? Oh, you had. While Mrs. Love is here, we have a proclamation that the bishop is going to read also.
Also, Black History Month, whereas February is recognized. Oh, let's take this picture real quick. I did forget to say that Roy and his wife are lifelong members of Brister, the church I pastor. Amen. Black History Month. February is recognized as Black History Month, a time to honor the rich history, culture, and contributions of Black Americans who have shaped our nation through their resilience, achievements, and enduring spirit. Whereas during the 1960s, the week-long recognition expanded into Black History Month, initially aligning with February birthdays of Frederick Douglass, Abraham Lincoln, to highlight their impact and fight for freedom and equity. Black History Month is a time for all Americans to reflect on the rich history and teachings of African Americans who've made significant contributions to modern society. In 1986, Congress passed Law 99-244, officially designating February as National Black History Month and encouraging all Americans to honor this vital aspect of our nation heritage. And whereas Black History Month celebrates the contribution of Black Americans throughout all periods of U.S. history, for those enslaved in early 17th century to the leaders, inventors, and community builders of today, and whereas countries around the world have joined the United States in commemorating the influence of Black people on global history, culture, and progress. Whereas observing Black History Month provides a vital opportunity to deepen our understanding of history, reflect on the ongoing struggle for equity, justice, and celebrate the achievements of those who paved the way for more inclusive society. Whereas we must honor the men and women whose sacrifice and unwavering dedication to civil rights, which is under review right now, freedom and equity, continues to inspire generations and enrich American culture, where it's only fitting that we set aside a special time to acknowledge this important segment of citizens in our community and their history that have made an impact on our national, social, scientific, and political landscape. Now, therefore, the mayor and the City Council of Carson do hereby proclaim the month of February as Black History Month and urge all residents, government officials, educators, and other institutions to recognize the many contributions that African Americans have made and continue to make to our city, state, and nation, and to mark this month with special ceremonies, activities, and programs. Signed this day, February 3rd, 2026, by all of us. This is also presented to you, Mr. Love.
Are there any members here from the Love family? None. If four, come on up. Don't be scared. I want you to come up and be in the photo. Family, come on down. Family photo op. Family photo op. This side. Get a little closer. Find your window. Thank you. Stay right here. The family can leave. Members of the Martin Luther King Democratic Club. Short ones in front. Come on, Martin Luther King. It's a lot of you. Come on down. Oh, your old bosses. Short ones in the front. Where's my recipient? Oh, Love. I need you in front. We couldn't find Roy Love. We couldn't find Roy. You come right here.
Why don't I just stoop down like that?
Can you come right here? Just come right here. And then you guys just open up to me. Perfect, there it is. And if you guys could just open up to me. Take like, turn your back. Oh, to me. That's it. So you guys sit in a little bit. Go this way, and then I can see you. Okay, wonderful. You guys look great. All right, here we go.
And where are those alpha men? Where are those alpha men? Where are those alpha men? Oh, we did?
Oh, excuse me, Dr. Betty.
We did? On the okay, we're good? What other club are you involved in this here? Martin Luther King Democratic Club, NAACP? Did I miss an organization?
They wanted to say that he marched with Martin Luther King. And
Well, I've just been informed that he marched with Dr. Martin Luther King. That deserves a round of applause also. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And John Lewis. Oh, history in the making. Yes. You guys have all been in a photo, right? Okay. The Alpha Men, it's only two of you? Okay, thank you. Thank you very, very much. No, if you guys are in the, yeah, we're done. The next is a proclamation recognizing February as American Heart Month, MPT Hicks.
Thank you, Marlon, for coming on up here.
On this side.
Come on this side. Whereas every year, heart disease takes the lives of over 500,000 Americans, and it remains to be the leading cause of death for most groups. Heart affects all ages, genders, and ethnicities. Whereas American Heart Month is observed to raise awareness on the importance of health, a healthy heart, and to encourage healthy habits, and to help reduce the risk of heart disease. And whereas heart disease is a devastating epidemic that leaves no one untouched, its victims are fathers, daughters, grandparents, siblings, cherished friends, and community members. Whereas the American Heart Association is the only voluntary health agency whose sole mission is to reduce early death and disability from heart disease and stroke. And whereas while genetics and hereditary factors play a part in many of the instances of cardiovascular disease, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, physical inactivity, obesity, tobacco use, and alcohol abuse are major factors that can be prevented and controlled. And whereas to help win the fight against heart disease, we must work together to ensure that individuals and communities have the tools they need to make real gains in the critical efforts. And whereas February 1st, 2026 marks the 23rd year of the American Heart Association National Wear Red Day movement. 23 years of fighting to save lives from heart disease and making significant progress along the way. Much work is still needed to be done. Now, therefore, the Mayor and City Council of the City of California do hereby proclaim the month of February as American Heart Month in the City of Carson and remind all of our citizens of the vital importance of prevention health care, supportive educational programs, and to help fight against heart disease and stroke. Dated today, the 3rd day of February 2026, attested by our City Clerk and signed by the entire City Council. And we have Marlon Cruz. He's the Community Impact Director for the LA California Association for Heart Association. Marlon. Thank you. Thank you. Say a few words.
Awesome. Let me take out my speech. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, hello, thank you very much for this proclamation. My name is Marlon Cruz. I'm a Community Impact Director with the American Heart Association, and it is my pleasure to be accepting this proclamation. I would like to thank the Mayor and the City Council members for recognizing February as American Heart Month this year and for supporting our cause. This year, we're once again focusing on building a nation of lifesavers, and we're trying to spreading the powerful message that you are the first line of defense when it comes to an emergency. So that we really want to emphasize that everybody has to be prepared for a cardiac emergency. We know that here in the United States, over 350,000 people experience an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest, and about 90% of those cases are fatal. As a member of the American Heart Association Greater Los Angeles team, I urge you to learn hands-only CPR and to spread the word. And as part of the American Heart Association, I gratefully accept this proclamation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, we'll have a proclamation for Women's Heart Week. And too many instructions. I've been in court all day, so I don't even know I'm here. As we celebrate Women's Heart Week and Health Month, we recognize that heart health begins with education, access, and community support. Today, we are proud to honor an organization that has been the cornerstone of these efforts in the city of Carson, the Boys and Girls Club of Carson. Through their healthy lifestyle programs, they are shaping the future for our youth by promoting physical activity, nutrition, emotional wellness, and positive decision-making. Come on over here.
I'm sorry, I'm so
From sports and fitness, dance, triple play, to initiatives that like Healthy Habits, Smart Girls, ooh, Smart Girls, and the Social Emotional Wellness Initiative. The Boys and Girls Club of Carson is not only building healthy bodies, but also strong minds and confident leaders. Today, I'm honored to have representatives from the Boys and Girls Club here. Kim is not here. Lily Cardenas. Hi, Director of Healthy Lifestyles. Samaya Terry, Sports and
fitness.
Girl, you better, yeah. Coordinator, Mercedes.
Zasueta.
Yes. Senior Director of Operations. On behalf of the City of Carson, we thank you for your dedication to the health and well-being of our youth and for being champions of heart health in our community. And who's going to speak?
Lily, go ahead. I'm voluntold, ma'am.
You're voluntold?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. It is my honor to be here tonight. We weren't expecting to be all recognized. We were here to support our Samaya Terry, who is our sports and fitness coordinator, and I'm very proud to be her supervisor. As a director of healthy lifestyles, I help oversee programs that include social emotional learning programs, sports and fitness, healthy habits, dance. Our mission is to create a fun and safe environment for our members to become lifelong learners, and to close the gap, right, to be able to have access to fair and equitable play. They're learning conflict resolution skills, they're learning social emotional skills. And so it's really important, and we're just very grateful for the opportunity to tell a little small part of our story today. You want to add anything? No, did I miss anything? Samaya.
They're making me talk, guys. So I just want to say thank you for this proclamation. I'm just hoping that sports lets kids have what I had growing up. Sports taught me invaluable lessons, and without sports, I don't know where I'll be at today. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. What's next? No, that's not it. A proclamation recognizing Dominican Republic independence. Councilwoman. Don't be taking my pink mic.
Thank you. As they come up, yes, our Dominican Republic family, come on up. We have Marisol Vargas. Repeated, yes. And then we have Angela Murlock. Okay. And Margaret Mendoza. And then we have the Consul General of the Dominican Republic. He's here, Alfonso Rodriguez. Oh, he's in traffic. Okay.
He's in
well, thank you.
traffic.
Alfonso Rodriguez, the Consul General of the Dominican Republic. He will come? Maybe? Okay. Okay, so, well, we have you, and you are part of our family. You go, Angela, Margaret. Yes. And then you can hold that for our Consul General. And here you go. Thank you again for being. Why don't you come? Come in the middle, right next. Yes. Let's go down a little bit. Yes, thank you. So, the proclamation in recognition of Dominican Republic. Come on, come on. I'm short. You could, even if I'm in front of you, you could still see me. Whereas on February 27th, 1844, revolutionary fever fervor boiled over on the eastern side of the Caribbean island of Hispaniola. And after years of covert planning, a group known as La Trinitaria seized the fortress of Puerto del Conde in the city of Santo Domingo. Got it, right? And the Dominican War of the Independence began. Much of what is now the Dominican Republic had been a facto autonomous in the early 1800s, with the Spanish occupied by Napoleon's invasion and the Haitians to the west fighting off their French colonizers. And whereas heavily influenced and encouraged by Haiti, which had achieved the independence in 1804, Dominicans declared independence as the Republic of Spanish Haiti in 1821. Despite being nominally free, the less wealthy and less densely populated half of the island came under the control of Haiti and entered into formal union with its neighbor in 1822. Whereas Haiti had been only the second European colony in the Americas to achieve independence, and its revolution constituted one of the largest and most important slave revolts in all history. Dominica suffered under the Haitian rule, and whereas, though the two were nominally united, the western half of the island was clearly where the political influence lay, and the crippled debts imposed on Haiti by the French and other powers had a profoundly negative effect on the island's economy as a whole. Whereas in 1838, 3 educated and enlightened Dominicans named Juan Pablo Duarte, Ramon Matias Melo, and Francisco del Rosario Sanchez found a resistance organization. They named the organization La Trinitaria due to their decision to divide into 3 smaller cells, each of which would operate with almost no knowledge of what the other cells were doing. On February 27, 1844, La Trinitaria was forced to make a move. Though Duarte was away on mainland seeking support from the recently liberated peoples of Colombia and Venezuela, La Trinitaria received a tip that the Haitian government had been aware of their activities. And whereas on February 27, 1844, La Trinitaria gathered roughly 100 men and stormed the Puerto del Conde, forcing the Haitian army out of Santo Domingo. Sanchez fired a cannon shot from the fort and raised the blue, red, and white flag of the Dominican Republic, which still flies over the country today. Yes, those are your flags. I got the memo. Whereas over the next decade, after 1844, the nations of Haiti and the Dominican Republic were periodically at war. Each invaded the other in response to previous invasions. The storming of Puerto del Conde, however, represented a turning point in the history of the nation that had long been subjugated first to the Spanish and then to the Haitian neighbors. Now, therefore, the mayor and the city council of the city of Carson do hereby recognize Dominican Republic Independence Day on February 27th, 2026. And we thank you again for being part of our City of Carson family and being here with us. Congratulations to all, and thank you for your freedom. So, Marisol.
Thank you. The Dominican community in Los Angeles are very proud and very honored to receive this recognition from the Carson Council member and the Mayor Lula Davis. We are very grateful for this recognition, and the Dominican Republic is celebrating all this month of February our independence and also our carnival. And we are very proud to be Dominican and proud to be here in this country as well. Thank you.
And carnival is where?
When is the carnival?
Carnival.
Oh, the carnival?
Yeah.
It's all this month.
Where?
All this
Okay.
month.
All right. the fun stuff. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is that it?
Madam Mayor, can we say happy birthday to our city photographer? It's her birthday today. And she's here taking pictures.
Happy birthday. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Elizabeth. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Woo! Many more, many more. That's it. Thank you.
Such an honor to receive this recognition.
Oh, sure. We're going to take a picture with Rita.
Elizabeth. What? Oh, we're going to take a picture with this beautiful lady here, Rita, and then she's going to do a presentation so we don't have to keep jumping up and coming down, okay? So, Rita, you want to present this too?
Thank you, sir. Okay. So, good evening. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and council members. It's an honor to be able to present this award to you, or this recognition to the city and to the community. Awards like this are meaningful because of what they represent for the community's future. Sometimes sustainability can sound like this big abstract idea, but for us, it's very practical. It's about cleaner air for families, affordable energy costs, reliable infrastructure, and making sure that the decisions that are made today prepare us for tomorrow's challenges. So this award is from the South Bay Cities Council of Governments in partnership with the Southern California Regional Energy Network. There are 4 levels: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. And the way you move from a lower tier to a higher tier is by undertaking sustainability-related activities during a given year. So for the calendar year of 2025, Carson earned the highest level, which is the platinum level, for all the work that the city did. And I'll mention one program in particular that helped us earn the platinum level, and that's the city's EV charging wallet pilot program that the city council approved and launched this in 2025. And this program is still available, and it offers, there was grant funding, and it offers Carson residents up to $250 in charging reimbursements. So if you have a battery electric vehicle and you are interested in applying for the program, all the information is on the city website. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're going to let you do the presentation. We're going to take our seat.
We'll take the picture first.
Oh.
That was it.
Are you away?
The presentation is done.
Did you take a picture? Oh, that was it?
That was it.
We did all at once.
Okay. While I'm going back to my seat, I see some residents here from the carousel track, and I see some of my residents that need to get home out of this cold. So could you come up to the council, state your name as I walk to the dais? I'm taking the liberty to give you a time to speak, then we'll go back to our regular agenda. But I do want you to go home because I know you're not feeling well. Okay? No, it's not. Come on up. You can come speak on their behalf. The two of you can come. I'll give each one. Thank you. You're welcome. This is all communication non-agendized items. Yes. They're representing the carousel track. I had an opportunity to meet with them over this past weekend. Well, I want to have a town hall meeting in the carousel track. State your name and your concerns, please.
My name is Jason Aguayo. I live in the Carousel Tract on Neptune Avenue. We've lived there for about 2 years, my wife and I. We purchased our first home. It's a beautiful neighborhood, and we love our community and our neighbors, and we're all like a big family there. Unfortunately, 6 months ago, my main sewer line backed up, and upon the contractors excavating the ground, it was determined that due to a large amount of groundwater in the soil, it caused our clay pipe to offset and then eventually crush. It crushed under the street and cost us upwards of $100,000. So my concern now, we've already paid for it by the grace of God, Madam Mayor, and he was able to provide for us. But my neighbors are now experiencing the same problem. And the water it keeps coming out of the ground, and no one has an answer to where it's coming from. They had to put up sandbags to prevent the water from flowing into the street. Now, this is not sewage water. This is chlorinated water as it was tested by the water department. So we asked if there is any possible way that someone can determine where all this water is coming from. We're concerned that it could become a sinkhole issue as the ground may begin to sink with all of the water and the sand that is in the ground. When the soil was remediated, it was replaced with sand, and wet sand just becomes slurry. So when they excavated the ground, they had to pump out the slurry in order to replace the pipe. So I fear that my home might have been the first domino to fall, as all of the other homes still have the original clay piping under the ground that is currently residing in this slurry and water. In addition to this, as the excavation continued lower and lower, the ground became black and the water has a very strong oil smell in it. So we are very concerned about the safety of our community and the safety of not only our plumbing, but the toxic factor and the sinkhole danger. Thank you for your time, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. JR, do you have any comments on this through the city manager? Because, you can speak now. Your name?
Hello. Hi, my name is Samir Benamor. I am also a resident of the Carousel District, or the Carousel Tract. I've been there for almost 3 years now, and I'm speaking on behalf of everyone else in the neighborhood. We have another neighbor here who's currently experiencing the same thing that he has experienced, and like he said, it's leaking into the street. I walk the neighborhood daily. I take my puppy out every single day, and every single day I'm always concerned about him looking up the water that's consistently along the sidewalks on every single block in the carousels. I've spoke to neighbors on my walks in the last few days after we had our meeting, and they've all said they've been concerned about the residual water that's not going anywhere. It's there during the day, during the night, and it's coming from homes. Like we don't know exactly what homes it's affecting at this moment, but I am concerned for our whole neighborhood and my home and myself and my wife. We just moved in there. It's our first home, thinking it was going to be a perfect home, no issues, no problem. But after knowing that my neighbor 2 houses down from me is experiencing the same thing that he has just experienced, it puts fear in my heart knowing that there can be an issue in the future going forward for not only myself, but everyone else in the community. He spoke very well about every concern we have, and I'm just speaking up for everyone else in the district because it's not fair for us to spend our hard-earned money to live there and want to live in peace when we're actually pretty much living in fear now, knowing that that could happen to anyone. That's a domino effect. So I just want to say if there is anything you guys can do to investigate or somehow find out where the water is coming from, and the fact that it is possibly oil contaminated, it could possibly be toxic. So we are concerned, and as a neighborhood, we would like to get the attention of the city of Carson, please.
Thank you for coming out. I know that there's going to be a town hall meeting scheduled in the Carousel Tract Mr. City Manager, JR, through the city manager, is this something that we don't know anything about that?
So, Madam Mayor, this is the first I've heard of these recent problems, but during the construction period in the carousel tract, particularly in the streets, when they were doing the soil vapor extraction system and excavating the big trenches in the streets, there was a continuing problem with water at the bottom of the bottom of the excavation, and and the and the and so we went to Cal Water. We said, can you trace the leak? Like from a resident. They tested that water at the time, and there was no chlorine in it. So it was water. It was fugitive water that was from basically the clay formation of the soil in the tract. And as properties were being excavated, it was sort of like fracking, right? Just sort of breaking the soil up, and the water was ending up in the hole. For that, we ended up having to use a specialized slurry at the bottom of the pit so that they could backfill and complete the street. Since the work in the carousel was complete, about 3-4 years ago now, there have been we have monthly kind of catch up or update meetings with Shell and the Water Board, and there had been a couple of houses where they sort of continued to have water like in their backyard or in the front yard, and just kind of a soggy condition. It was always wet. And in a couple of those cases, it was, there's some grade separation in some of the streets. The houses are lower than the street behind it, the houses behind it, and they thought it might have been the neighbor overwatering or something like that. So I have not heard of water being so bad that it's, sort of, creating a liquefaction problem of the slurry, to the point where the residents are having the problem that the gentleman talked about. I can make some calls tomorrow and see what everybody's heard. We had the water board, and they're not geologists, right? But back at the time when we had the fugitive water problem, they actually offered to do an investigation, and they were the ones that came back and said, yeah, this is not a domestic water problem. It's not Cal water. It's not chlorinated water. It is water that's coming out of the clay formation. But the more recent problems, with people's wet backyards and things like that have been kind of a mix, I think, of chlorinated water and unchlorinated water. I mean, chlorinated water means it's somebody's sprinkler or something coming out of somebody's hose or somebody's house. So I'll see what I can find out. But it's and then on the issue of the on the deeper excavation running into petroleum contaminated soil, that is in most of the houses. There are 230 houses of 285 were excavated. Most were excavated only to 5 feet. Some were like 30 or 40 were excavated to 10 feet. So for most houses, if you've gone down more than 5 feet, you're going to get to where it hasn't been excavated, and there's likely to be, if there was petroleum in that soil, there's still petroleum in that soil. It hasn't gone anywhere, and so for deeper excavations, you're going to run into that. It's safe. It doesn't create soil vapor. It doesn't create any health risk in the house or in the backyard. provided it's, you have the cover on it, right? That the soil's there. It that's what the project was. So the water issue, we'll have to do some investigation on that.
Well, I think that's what the residents are looking for because they don't know which way to turn. $110,000 bill is not nothing to sneeze at for, especially for a young couple that just bought their home. And I know there were some problems. I also know that Dr. Lennox, Mr. City Manager, I asked Dr. Lennox to visit the site. I've asked Cal Water to visit the site. So what I'm asking now is that we do some research and see what it is that we can do to get to the bottom of this. We know it's not it's not a city problem, but those are our residents. And so I think Dr. Lennox, if you, was it, no, it was
Yeah,
Dr. Arlington.
That's correct, Madam Mayor. In
Oh,
fact, the team did go out on last Tuesday and did that inspection and have been in communication with Cal Water about it. So there's some follow-up to do still, but the Public Works team will continue that.
Yeah, Ralph Felix contacted me and said it was, to his knowledge, it was not Cal Water problem, and he sent his team out. So what I can say to the residents through the staff that we will host a town hall meeting in the carousel track, and if we can bring, you're going to do some research, and we'll be getting back to you on what our assistant city manager comes up with. Have a meeting in your track because this is not something that we need to sneeze or close our eyes at. Our residents are reaching out for help. I'm looking at this audience now, and I see my senior family. They can't afford, and their home is being excavated right now as we speak. It's dirt in their front yard. So I'm asking the councilwoman Rojas, we need to get acquainted with the carousel track and coordinate this town hall meeting, and everyone, it's in her district. So I hear you. JR will get back to us, and then we will have that town hall meeting. And I'd like you to leave your name and phone number and contact information with our city clerk. Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Councilman.
I have a question. Is the LA Regional Water Board engaged in this issue at this point, or do we need, as a city, to bring them in?
We need to bring in everyone because this is a problem. They don't know which way to go. This is a new concern, so they're just looking for some direction right now.
All right, I'll call them tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe a combination of a high water table combined with the petroleum issue, combined with the heavy rains, and then at the same time a pipe leaking. So it may be that type of a problem.
We will agendize this at a later meeting, but it's not on the agenda right now. So I just wanted to bring it to the council body's attention that we have a problem. So thank you for coming out. And the next on the agenda is item number 5, a comprehensive financial report presentation. Mr. City Manager, where is it?
Yeah, he had to step away for a moment, Madam Mayor. But yes, I'd like to turn this over to our Deputy City Manager, Armine Chaparian, and along with our finance team and our auditors to present this to the council. So.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council.
Okay, Armina Chaparian, Deputy City Manager. I am joined this evening by our auditors who have prepared our ACFR. And joining me is Christy, who will be presenting the item tonight. I'm going to turn it over to her. She has a comprehensive presentation for council. Christy?
Thank you, Armine. Good evening, City Council members. Good evening, everyone. My name is Christy Caneda. I'm from Vasquez and Company, and I'm here to present to you the results of our audit of the city's financial statements as of and for the year ended June 30, 2025. This is just a brief agenda for my presentation. I'll focus my discussion on the summary of audit results and the required communications to the City Council. This is the engagement team that performed the audit of the city's financial statements and compliance with federal requirements during the year. Aside from the engagement team that performed the audit, there's also a separate independent engagement partner or quality control partner that review the quality of the report as well as the engagement. For the scope of the engagement, so we did audit the city's financial statements as well as the city's Air Quality Improvement Special Revenue Fund. This is our audit of the AQMD fund is both a financial statement and a compliance audit to ensure the city complies with the requirements of AB 2766. We also performed a single audit, otherwise known as a compliance audit, for the city's compliance with federal requirements with respect to federal grants that the city received during the fiscal year. And as your independent auditors, we are available for consultation with the city in as far as financial accounting and reporting is concerned. As your auditor, we are required, the primary requirement is independence, and we comply with that independence requirements. This is also to confirm that Vasquez and Company meets the independence requirements of the AICPA, as well as the requirements of the government auditing standards as it relates to the city. All the members of our team are independent of the city, as well as the city's management and the city council members. For the summary of audit results, for the financial statements audit part, in our report dated December 18, 2025, we issued an unmodified opinion or unmodified opinions on the city's financial statements, both the city and the AQMD fund's financial statements. Unmodified opinion is the highest level of assurance that an auditee can receive in a financial statements like this. Because our audit was performed in accordance with government auditing standards, we are also required to look at the city's internal control processes. Your key internal control process over financial reporting, and based on the results of our testing, we noted no material weaknesses. There were no significant deficiencies as well on the city's internal control over financial reporting. Now, moving on to the single audit or the city's audit of compliance with federal requirements. During the audit process, we have identified 3 major programs based on our risk assessment process. And that includes the Land, Water, and Conservation Fund grant, the Home Investment Partnership Program, and the American Rescue Plan Act, or the ARPA fund that qualified as a major program. This means that we audited all these 3 major programs during the year that represent 87.5% of the total federal funds received by the city during the year. The city continues to be classified as a low-risk auditee based on our evaluation, based on federally prescribed criteria. And that means that what that means is that the city did not have any material findings during the last 2 years. For the audit results, similar to the financial statements audit, we also issued an unmodified opinion on the city's compliance with federal requirements. There were no financial statement findings. There was one finding that we reported in our report with respect to the city's compliance with federal awards. This is merely an administrative finding, and that there was no question cost involved. in our finding. We also would like to report that all the prior year findings we noted were resolved and our recommendations were complied and implemented by the city. And so there were no further findings noted with respect to the federal programs audited during the last year. Just to give you a brief highlight with respect to the city's financial statements, I presented here the government-wide statement of net possession of the city. This is the overall um, uh, financial health of the city. It shows that your total net possession as of the end of the year was 595.1 million, and this represent an increase of 36.5 million from the prior year's balance of 558.6 million. And you can see that here in your government-wide statement of changes in net possession that shows that the city's total revenues government-wide, again, this is based on full accrual basis of accounting, not on the budgetary level of financial reporting. So your total revenues increased by 23.9 million during the year, bringing it up to 194 million from 170 million reported during the prior year. Your total expenses decreased by 4.3 million, and therefore you reported 157.8 million during the year as compared to 262 million reported last year. And this resulted in an increase of 36.5 million or 36.6 million in your net position during the year as mentioned earlier. Now, in as far as your general fund is concerned, this is general fund is the primary operating fund of the city. It's the biggest fund and is presented as a major fund during the year. You can see that the fund balance of the general fund increased by 32.7 million, bringing it up to 252 million as compared to 220 million reported last year. Your unassigned fund balance in your general fund showed an increase of 18.3 million as well. So you're looking at 91.3 million in unassigned fund balance as of the end of the fiscal year. With respect to the changes in fund balance reported in your general fund, we can see that the fund balance of the general fund increased by 32.7 million. You can see there that it increased from 219 million to 252 million during the year. And you also can see the increase in revenue of the general fund. As you see there that it increased by 39.4 million during the year. Now, with respect to certain budgetary highlights for the general fund, you can see that in as far as the revenue is projected from last year, you're showing a higher actual revenue received by the city by 22.4 million as compared to, so you reported 162.6 million during the year as compared to 140.3 million projected revenue. While your revenue showed an increase or higher than budgeted amount, your expense showed a lower than budgeted amount, which is a good thing. And so you can see that the general fund showed a strong performance during the year, showing a less than budgeted expenditure but higher than projected revenue during the year. And so I would like to also mention that the city implemented GASB 101. It's a new accounting standards regarding compensated absences that resulted in the city reporting a total of 9.2 million in compensated absences liability. And that is an increase of 2.1 million from the prior year balance reported. The city's net pension liability was at 19.7 million as of the end of the year as compared to 15.1 million last year, while the net OPEB liability was 35.2 million, just 1.3 million increase from last year's amount reported at 34 million. For the required communication, as your independent auditor, at the completion of our audit process, there are certain matters that we are required to communicate to you as the City Council. Um, I would like to highlight that the financial statements, they are the management's responsibility. And we have issued a separate communication regarding that responsibility, communicating that responsibility, and identifying the scope and the timing of our audit at the beginning of our audit engagements. As I've mentioned, the financial statement says the management responsibility as well as all the accounting policies implemented by it. The consistency of application is the city's responsibility as well. During the audit process, we did not identify any significant accounting policies that are in controversial manner or emerging areas for which there is lack of authoritative guidance. There were no significant unusual transactions entered into by the city during the year. Um, audit adjustments proposed by us were recorded and agreed to by management during the audit process. We encountered no disagreements with management with respect to financial reporting matters or audit process. We did not encounter any difficulties as well in dealing with management. Had we encountered any difficulty or any disagreement with management, we are required to report them to you. But then there were none to report as a result of that audit. We are not aware of any consultations made by management with other accountants about accounting and auditing matters. As I mentioned earlier, the accounting policies of the city were applied consistently from year to year based on the results of our audit. In the process of preparing the city's financial statements, the city involves estimation in certain accounts. And we specifically look at it because those estimations actually are subject to bias and therefore may be abused depending on management's bias with respect to how they will report those information. The accounting estimates involved um, relates to certain accounts of the city. It could be in calculating OPEB liabilities or pension liabilities because there are certain assumptions involved in calculation of that. It could be assessing the collectibility of the accounts receivables of the city or the fair value, reporting the fair value of the city's investments. All of these items that we audited, we found that the estimates made by the city is reasonable and consistent and based on industry standards. I mentioned independence earlier, and again, we are independent of the city, but we would like to also mention to the management as well as the city council that maintaining our independence is a joint responsibility of Vasquez and the city as well. And so we encourage a discussion if there are matters that you think arising that would result in us basically jeopardizing our independence of the city as your auditor. Um, in the process of auditing the city, we are required to gather information and interview certain members of the city council and management in order for us to identify whether there are certain risk areas or fraud risk areas that we need to consider, that we need in order to develop the methodology or the approach that we will use for the audit of the city's financial statements. And I would like to report that in that process, we noted no irregularities, we noted no fraud risk areas that we have to consider. Had we identified any fraud risk areas, we are required to report them to you. But then again, we identified no fraud risk areas in the process. The most significant written communication between management and our firm is the management representation letter, wherein management accepts the responsibility on the financial statements and represent that all the documents provided to us in order for us to perform the audit are true copies of the documents and that they are true and correct representation of all the original copies of those documents. Um, every year, the GASB issues new accounting standards applicable to the city. In the following year, there are a couple of new GASB standards, and this is just for management's information and the city council's information as well. GASB 103 and 104 will change the financial reporting process for the ACFR next year, and therefore will impact the city. GASB 105 will also change certain requirement for disclosing subsequent events in the city's ACFR. Those are just for your information and for consideration in the next year's audit process. That's the last slide of my presentation, and that's, I guess, the end of my presentation. If you have any question, I'll be happy to respond to those.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from my colleagues? Very, very comprehensive report, and thank you very staff.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to take a moment to obviously recognize Vasquez for their hard work on this audit, but also recognize the finance team, because without their diligence in maintaining the city's accounting and sticking with our everything from procurement to accounting, budgeting from beginning to end, none of these findings, these positive findings, would have been possible. And that's a huge accomplishment. I think as the staff has shared with the council in the past, there have been awards that the city has won, and I think there's some others in the pipeline as a result of the diligence of staff. So I know that finance staff is here, and I would like to take a moment to recognize their efforts, and some of them are in the audience, so thank you, team.
Well, I'll have the team come up so we can see them. Come on up, team.
It was a very smooth audit because of your finance team.
Thank you. Job well done. Is that your new department, Armene? Is this you?
It sure is, and I'm very proud of them. They've worked very hard. Nin, I want to shout out to you. I know you had a lot to do with this. And any words, or you're good?
Job well done, ladies. Thank you. The next we have oral communications for matters listed on the agenda. I have about 7 speaker cards for item number 25. That is a public hearing. I'm going to bring that up so we can have a presentation, but I want to go through approval of the minutes. I entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Did I vote?
Motion carries.
Yes. The consent calendar is item 13 through 22.
Motion to approve.
It's been moved and properly second. Anyone wants to pull an item? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Oh.
Motion carries.
And I'm going to go right into item number 25, which is a public hearing.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I don't have item 25 listed as a public hearing.
Which one is it? What is it?
23 is a public hearing.
Oh, 23, I'm
25 is-
sorry. Why is everybody speaking on 25 then? This is a sequel.
25 is a pipeline issue. 23 is a public hearing.
Okay, let's go to 25. Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Item 25 is the subject to consider introduction and first reading by title only of ordinance number 26-2603, an ordinance amending Chapter 8 pipeline franchises of Article 6 taxes and licenses of the Carson Municipal Code as a comprehensive update. We're going to have a presentation, a brief presentation by our Special Projects Manager, Mr. James Wynn.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. Item 25 is regarding the pipeline franchise ordinance. Just to give you an overview, the pipeline franchise ordinance presentation will include an overview of the ordinance, a recap of the stakeholder outreach we did as part of the ordinance preparation. We'll have a presentation on the projected revenues and implementation of the ordinance, as well as the comparison between the new and the current ordinance. Also want to acknowledge and recognize Robert Lee from our City Attorney's Office. He is here remotely, and he'll be available to answer any questions at the end. Also in the audience is Luis Perez. He is with MRS Environmental Solutions. He will be actually leading the second half of this presentation. So with that, I just wanted to start with the overview of the pipeline franchise ordinance. It was originally adopted in 1978. It regulates how franchisees are issued pipelines within the city of Carson. The ordinance covers pipelines that are used to collect, transport, distribute oil, gas, water, wastewater, and other liquid substances. The rules apply to pipelines and related facilities located in, under, and along or across city streets in Carson. Because many of the terms have been outdated since its original adoption in 1978 and its last amendment in 1995, staff is proposing an update to the ordinance via tonight's action to adopt ordinance number 26-2603. So the ordinance update will include updates to modernize regulations, improve administration, and strengthen the city's fiscal position. So because this is such a big undertaking, we went through extensive efforts to engage all of our stakeholders and franchisees, frequent and early, well beyond the 72-hour Brown Act requirement. We started last May. We notified all stakeholders meeting via email. We let them know via letters and about a town hall that was being held on June 11, 2025. At that town hall, it was an in-person town hall. We discussed the pipeline ordinance that was going to be brought forth, and we also even had virtual participation to those who weren't able to make it. And the purpose of the town hall is really to solicit as much feedback as we can so that our ordinance includes everybody's comments. So after that town hall, we received a lot of comments from franchisees, and throughout the summer, we encouraged franchisees to reach out to the city to get more comments. In October 2023, we sent out a second draft ordinance that incorporated a lot of the comments initially proposed or inputted by the stakeholders. And so that second draft ordinance, we felt pretty good about that it included a lot of the comments. And so we also offered one-on-one meetings with any stakeholders who had remaining questions. 4 stakeholders had remaining questions and requested that one-on-one meeting. One professional organization also requested that meeting. So those meetings were held in the period between November and December 2025. And shortly after that, we released the final draft ordinance last week to the stakeholders, well ahead of the 72-hour Brown Act requirement. And tonight is to consider that ordinance. I want to now pass it on to Luis Perez, who will get into the details of the comments we've received.
Thank you, James. Madam Mayor, council members, good evening. Luis Perez with MRS Environmental. A couple of things that we wanted to go over with you. We received over the 9 months or so that we had stakeholder meetings, we received a number of comments. And as a result, the city team reconsidered a number of the items within the ordinance and made a number of concessions, and we're going to go through those pretty quickly here in the next couple of slides. One of the changes is that the pollution liability requirements were reduced significantly, and we work closely with your risk analyst and insurance experts to make the determination that it could be reduced. We also allow the franchisees to provide letters of credit in lieu of actual performance bonds, recognizing that the bond market is a little difficult to access and that it's relatively expensive. And so having letters of credit was a good option for the city. We also allowed for a reduced application deposit, and basically what we ended up doing in this particular item is creating a tiered approach so that the franchisees that had lesser pipe through the city streets will be able to get into a lesser tier and not have to pay as much. And again, these are concessions that were made as a result of the conversations with the various franchisees. It also clarifies that the application deposit is refundable, so the franchisees would get the money back in the event that the money doesn't get used. There are caps on the additional monies that get deposited as part of the application deposit. And also, we allowed for those deposits to be interest bearing so that the money that some of the franchisees submit doesn't just sit there, but it's available to them and it's eventually refundable. Also, as part of the concessions and changes that were made, the city would be required to itemize all items for which they're billing the franchisees so that there is a proper accounting of and reasoning behind the use of the monies that the city is collecting. It also allows for partial releases of the compliance deposit on a case-by-case basis, where a franchisee demonstrates a good track record. So we know that at the beginning, compliance, the first couple of years, it takes a little bit of time to accomplish compliance, but once they do the compliance efforts, it becomes a much more reduced effort, and that much more reduced effort is also for the city, and as such, it would require less funding. And if that happens, then you get a reduced deposit. The city had a requirement to increase the fee 3 times during the period of time for the franchise to occur, and we reduced that from 5 to 3 times at the request of the franchisees. And then force majeure provisions were added, and the default deadline for replacing pipelines was extended for 60 days. So those are some of the things, some of the comments that people had that resulted in actual changes to the franchise ordinance. There are some things that we heard comments on that were not resulting in changes, and for a variety of reasons, and the most notable ones are the 5 that you have here on this slide. One of the things that the city is interested in including as part of this ordinance is a requirement to submit copies that currently the franchisees have to submit to the state fire marshal's office, proving that their pipeline has full integrity and has been properly inspected. The city is not asking to be redundant to that effort, but rather the city wants, as a landowner, wants to ensure that it has pipelines that are properly operating within the city. And for that, the city is requesting that they get copied on those integrity tests that they need to submit to the state fire marshal office. So again, it's not something in addition to something that the state already requires. There were also some requests to change or to maintain the volumetric measure that the city has been using until now. The city and the recommendation that we have for you in the amendment of this ordinance is to go to linear feet. And in our calculations, it was better for the city to do the accounting based on linear feet occupying the city streets. There were also some requests for idle lines to be exempted, and it was too hard to determine what lines were idle or when they were restarted. And so there was no consideration for this request. If the pipeline is idle and it will no longer be used, we encourage the franchisees to go through the abandonment process and access that part of the ordinance, or continue to operate those pipelines as they have been operating in the past. We also included a liquidated damages cap, and we also continue to require mapping and reporting. Some of the mapping requirements from the earlier ordinance are antiquated, and the city wants to make sure that it has GIS up-to-date information on the pipelines that occupy its streets. So a couple of things with the various scenarios, and I'm just going to focus on your first line, recognizing that there's a lot of numbers on this table. This is what you currently have for the rate for the city. The city charges $1.68 per cubic foot. When you add the consumer price index inflation adjustment, basically what people are paying right now is $4.10 per cubic foot. And then the change that we're proposing is what's on bold in the next to last line there. And it's going to go from 410 to 462. And the only other change is that it goes from being a volumetric measure per cubic foot to a linear measure per linear foot. And what you can see there in the last column is that currently the city collects about $1.8 million a year. And as a result of the changes that are proposed in this ordinance, it would go up to $3.2 million a year. This last two slides that we have is a summary comparison of the old versus the new. Again, as we mentioned, we go from 410 to 462 and from volumetric to linear. And we go from 1.8 to 3.2 million. That is the biggest change that we have. There will also be, in your third line here, the opportunity for the city to collect money for the actual management and administration of the pipeline franchise program. And one of the things that we found in our analysis was that the city was spending its own resources to manage administratively the collection of funds, the applications that were submitted by the various franchisees, the renewal of these franchises. And so what we're adding here is an opportunity for fully refundable efforts so that the city can collect back the money that it spends and satisfying administratively the franchisees. Also, there are changes in the insurance. We compared the insurance that was required in other jurisdictions and again, with consultation with the risk management, and added some insurance requirements in this effort. And then finally, as I mentioned, there is a requirement for integrity testing reports that get submitted to the city, so the city is aware of the status of the lines that operate within the city. So that is an added requirement that you did not have previously. There's a certification of compliance so that the city ensures every year that the pipelines that are operating through the city are safe. So that is something that did not exist before that you will have now. Also a certificate of necessity for those pipelines that are operating as public utilities to demonstrate by having a Public Utility Commission report that states that they have that certificate of necessity to operate as such, or they would have to pay the higher rates that the city has for a private line. And then we talked about the insurance requirements and also the mapping and GIS requirements, where they're fairly basic now, and we're adding GIS and more detailed mapping requirements. I think that concludes my presentation. I will leave the staff recommendation up on the slide, and if you have any questions, be happy to try to address them.
Thank you. There are all communications on this item. I think I said there was 7.
Yes, Madam Mayor, and then we did receive 3 letters that were forwarded to Mayor and Council.
Okay. Thank you so much. We'll be calling on you. Stick around for a few minutes. Excellent report, by the way. Staff, consultant, excellent.
Do you want me to start? Okay. Tommy Fave. Good evening, Tommy.
Good evening, Kalina.
You'll have 3 minutes.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Mayor and fellow council members and staff. My name is Tommy Favai. I'm representing the LAOC Building Trades Council today, and we would like to see, you know, in good faith, good negotiations here between the party and the city staff. Unfortunately, I don't think that's happening. You know, through when it comes to the LAOC building trades, when we negotiate we negotiate agreements, we like to negotiate in good faith, and we ask that the city staff do the same when it comes to negotiating with the party that's here today on this ordinance. And we like to see, you know, instead of making a decision tonight, we like to see this come back in 30 days. Give some time to actually get to the table, negotiate in good faith, so both sides are happy from that day forward. So we urge the city council uh, to bring this back in 30 days so both parties can get back to the table. Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy.
Next speaker is Ramin Ross. Good evening, Ramin. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Davis Holmes, council members, and city staff. My name is Ramin Ross, Senior Manager with the Western States Petroleum Association, also known as WISPA. WISPA is a nonprofit trade association that represents companies that safely explore for, produce, refine, transport, market petroleum products, natural gas, and other energy supplies in the 5 western states. WISPA members operate refineries, marine terminals, and pipelines in the South Bay, especially here in Carson. Our members value collaborative processes that balance public interest with operational realities. We are here tonight because we have some serious concerns about the proposed pipeline franchise ordinance. Firstly, the ordinance includes requirements that duplicate existing federal and state oversight, like deposits, mapping, and enforcement. The overlap with the California State Fire Marshal adds costs without clear safety benefits. We recommend that staff reach out to the State Fire Marshal to ensure alignment and consistent messaging with those requirements. The MRS report admits that there's been no independent safety or environmental analysis, leaving enhanced insurance and bonding mandates without justification for the city's specific needs. Secondly, the proposal prioritizes maximizing revenue over prioritizing broader interest. The MRS report explicitly mentions recommendations to maximize the amounts that the city can receive, selecting higher-end benchmarks and downplaying lower-rate options. This approach burdens operators with excessive fees, deposits, and penalties, potentially deferring investments that could benefit Carson's economy. We urge City Council to continue engagement on this effort to address those outstanding concerns that were mentioned in the presentation. Thank you for your consideration of our comments and your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Richard Chow. Good evening, Richard. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Richard Chow. I'm the organizer for South Bay Area for the Sheet Metal Workers Local 105. I'm representing thousands of union workers whose jobs depend on refinery and energy infrastructure work that occurs in Carson. We understand the city's goal of updating this ordinance, but the proposed fee increase is significant. It could create unintended consequences and could have real impacts on jobs and working families if it moves forward without a full stakeholder input. Our request is simple. Please extend consideration for this item by 30 days to allow industry, working families, and the city time to come to the table and address the concerns together. That short extension helps protect both the city's economic outlook and the middle class jobs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jasmine DeLung? DeLynch. My apologies. Oh, well.
It's not like anyone's seen it before.
Miss DeLynch, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. All right. Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name's Jasmine. I live here in the city of Carson. I also work at the Torrance Refinery, where I've spent the past few years providing for my family and contributing to the community shopping here. My daughter goes to school at the Lakewood. Uh, I'm here to speak on agenda item 25 about the update. I'm concerned about the big change all at once. Uh, it goes further than we've seen before and could double the operating fees. I, as they've mentioned in other presentations, it's double. Where is it? It's already federally regulated and state regulated for the oversight of these pipelines. And another layer of review is redundant and will have unnecessary financial burden on the pipeline operators. The really concerning thing is the additional costs uh, could pile up like the straw on the camel's back, uh, because the increased financial pressure on refineries in Southern California has already started having different refineries closing down in recent years. I know Phillips 66 was last year, and I don't want these good paying jobs like mine to just disappear, and then I had to find something else. It was very difficult to get this, and I urge the council to please just reconsider the scope and hopefully like take another month maybe to work with the other refineries and try to see if you guys can come to sort of a midway point. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jessenia Lafayette. Good evening, Ms. Lafayette. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council members. I'm Jaswina Lafayette. I live in Carson with my family. In fact, my parents, my siblings, and their families all live in Carson, all 15 of us. My husband and I both work at the Torrance Refinery. I'm deeply concerned that the proposed pipeline franchise ordinance includes significant fee increases that have been unprecedented. As mentioned, these costs are being added on top of existing regulations and oversight that refineries already comply with every day. We are one of the highestly regulated industries. So what worries me the most is really the cumulative effect. Each new fee, each new layer of regulation increases the likelihood that refineries will determine it's no longer sustainable to operate here. I really don't want to see that happen. We've seen that already happening with the numerous refinery closures over the past few years, like P66. And refinery closures don't just mean lost jobs. It means disruption into the family dynamic when families will be forced to move. And realistically, it also means reduced local spending, resulting in lost tax revenue, which will result in long-term economic harm in Carson. And I know you've been working so hard to help with Carson. As someone who's lived in Carson for a really long time and works nearby, I really want Carson to thrive like you. I do ask that the council seriously consider the real-world consequences of this ordinance and allow more time to really work through our concerns diligently and thoroughly with city staff. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Pete. Last name begins with a W. Okay. I could probably pronounce it. I just can't understand the handwriting. Pete, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Mayor, City Council. My name is Pete Wogezogen. I'm with UA Local 250, Steam Fitters and Refrigeration, located right down the street in Gardena. We've got 6,800 members that currently reside in and around in the communities around Carson. All our members like to live local, work local, and reinvest local. We have a lot of apprentices, women in the trades, people of second chances, and veterans. All these people like to live and work in the area. Most of us work in the refineries. We are dependent on these jobs, and this increase in on this ordinance is just seems a little unacceptable. We ask that you delay this and go back to the table and operate in some good faith and have some negotiations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Michael McDonough. Good evening, Michael. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the council. My name is Michael McDonough. I'm with Pillsbury Winthrop in Los Angeles. I'm here tonight speaking on behalf of the Western States Petroleum Association. I just have to say I'm humbled first by the people who came before you earlier tonight and the level of service that we see with them. It's truly remarkable. First and most importantly, I think I want to reemphasize that WISPA has deeply appreciated the hard work of the city staff in working with stakeholders and the public over the last several months to draft an updated pipeline franchise ordinance that strives to be both fair and implementable. Unfortunately, I think somewhere in the public process in the last couple of months, we've had sort of a breakdown in getting information to the public. You've seen in a comment letter that we previously prepared for you that this definitely has been hard work, and a lot of information has been digested by city staff in preparing their responses to comments and putting comments into the revised ordinance. But for that reason, the outreach to stakeholders has been lacking. Unfortunately, in the last couple of months, the public has lacked a couple of important documents. One is the MRS consultant report. You heard from Mr. Perez from MRS that they've been central in the city's efforts here. We only saw Mr. Perez's report as of December, just before the holidays. The second problem is that even the revised ordinance you have in front of you was only released to the public last week and has even undergone significant change from the one this council saw back in October of last year, or the public saw, I should say, back in October of last year. So we would suggest that while we appreciate the level of outreach that the city has provided and the meetings that we've had with the city, that outreach is of limited helpfulness when the stakeholders don't have the basic documents they need, the revised ordinance and the MRS report. So these late releases of documents have, I think, contributed to a flood of public comments that the city staff have tried to handle, and the city staff, I think, have been pressed to respond to those comments and have done a very reputable job of trying to do that. So that this could be brought to you for tonight's meeting. But we suggest this has resulted in an ordinance that is lacking in substance as well. First, we think that on the CEQA side, this is definitely a project under CEQA. We believe that the City Council would benefit in taking another month to look at that conclusion and see whether they believe that this truly is not a project under CEQA. And then, as you've heard from Ms. Ross tonight, there's also serious concerns that
Madam Mayor, that's 3 minutes.
Thank you.
that this maximizes revenue. So thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our last comment card for this item is Diane Thomas. Good evening, Ms. Thomas. You know the drill. You have 3 minutes.
I do. Thank you. This fascinates me. We're talking about an ordinance that has not been updated since 1978. We're talking about a report that has given more than ample notification to all the parties involved. This is not something that just happened yesterday or last month. We're talking about a whole year. And I'm hearing people say we need 30 more days. 30 more days to do what? You have not responded in a year, or for those who did respond, they had ample time to make some adjustments. Changes were made based on those discussions. So, who is it that didn't make it to the table? Obviously, it wasn't important enough for you to make it to the table. I am so happy that this is coming to the forefront because Carson has been plagued all of its history with oil companies that feel so privileged that they don't have to pay their fair share. We're talking about 1978 in an economy that has changed leaps and bounds over and over and over again. And now you want to talk about, oh, well, it has doubled. Well, it needed to double. It needed to triple. When we get COLAs every year, cost of living raises, right? Okay, go for all these years without a cost of living raise. And then when you finally get it, you deserve what you get. I don't see where 30 days is going to make any difference. If you didn't take time to do it when you had the time, then you didn't care enough. And I believe this needs to move forward on behalf of the residents, with the people we've had talking about the carousel, with things that happen there, those of us who've been around a long time, and the oil issues that happen there. Now they've got water issues and all of that. We had Oxy that came through, wanted to run oil through the streets of the city of Carson using those very pipelines. And now we're asking to make sure that we know the integrity of those pipelines are indeed what they need to be. And so we ask for additional fees that are modern day fees. And you want another 30 days because you didn't come to the table? Please move forward. Do what you have to do. Don't delay. The residents of Carson deserve it, and I think the
Madam Mayor,
staff
that's
has
3
done.
minutes.
Thank you. Staff has done an excellent job in bringing this to the forefront. Thank you.
Thank you. Uh, Hearing no further comments, I'd like to hear from staff. I mean, not staff, council, my colleagues. Councilman Deere.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, listening to the 8 speakers, I think it's pretty clear that another 30 days is quite reasonable, and I make a motion we continue this item for 30 days.
Thank you. I have a substitute motion that we proceed with the passing of this ordinance, because you will have 30 days, because it'll take 30 days for this ordinance to go into effect. And that 30 days before this ordinance goes into effect, if it should pass, I would encourage you to meet with the staff and address your concerns. So your request for a 30-day extension is included by the fact that this ordinance will not go into effect for 30 days. And if you are serious about it, you will come and meet with staff like you've done before. 1978 and revised in 1995, this is long overdue. And I'm looking at, to the staff, is this a 41%? It says we're at 413 per cubic foot, and you're proposing 462? How am I reading this chart? Franchise fee?
Yeah, the franchise fee currently adjusted for inflation is $4.10, but the fee is going to increase to $4.62. Right?
Okay. All of this can be, if you're really serious about it, and if this passes with my substitute motion, you'll have your 30 days. We're not going to keep delaying and putting this off. I've been on this council since 2007, and I'm appalled to see that no one has addressed this since 1995. No one came and said, well, city, you haven't addressed your ordinance, your franchise pipeline fees since 1995. No one came and said that to us. Don't you think you need to look at it? So my substitute motion is on the floor, and that is to introduce for first reading by title only and with full reading waived. Ordinance number 262603, an ordinance of the City Council, City of Carson, California, amending Chapter 8, pipeline franchise fees of Article 6, taxes and license for the Carson Municipal Code. Is that the right one? As a comprehensive update. And that is my motion.
Madam Mayor, just for a point of clarification, the motion that you stated wouldn't be a substitute motion because that is the motion. That is
No, he made a motion. He seconded. I have a substitute motion.
right. But I just wanted to clarify that that's the original
Main-
motion.
That's-
The main motion.
This is the main motion. You vote on the substitute
Right.
motion. If it fails, you go to vote on the main motion. The substitute motion is just what I read.
correct.
The councilman said that he would make a motion to extend it for 30 days. And I'm saying, yes, Councilman Hilton made the second.
Madam Mayor, point of
I'm sorry,
order.
I want to hear from the
seconded
city.
both motions?
No, he
So
didn't.
there was a motion and a
Councilman
second,
Hilton
and you
made.
made a substitute.
And I made a
motion.
substitute. The
And there's a
councilman.
second. So you vote on the substitute motion first.
Exactly.
Right. We're just waiting on the second. I was just stating that the
It's Councilman Hicks, not Hilton.
Hicks was the second.
no, I know Councilman Hilton seconded.
Correct.
Yes.
She said
I didn't
Council-
hear Mayor Pro Tem Hicks second.
Well, she directed him to do it, and he did it.
Madam Mayor,
could
the
we-
motion's been moved and seconded.
Yes.
You got 3 more seconds to do that again. You hear me?
Cedric.
3 seconds. No, I'm not going to tolerate the ignorance that I hear from this man. But I did do a second. The reason why I didn't do a second because the clerk interrupted to get clarification.
Exactly. My apologies, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, on the interruption. I didn't hear your second though. Nor do you
I
have.
wasn't even making a second because you had already. I'm listening to the conversation.
No, I understand. I appreciate that. So there's a motion and a second on the floor, and we're going to vote on the mayor's motion.
Councilwoman Rojas has queued up.
Yes. Okay. So the original or your motion also gives the 30 days.
Automatically.
Nothing is going to come in effect
For 30
until after
days.
30 days anyway.
That's correct. Now, if you meet with everyone, you have 30 days, what you requested, and that's my motion. Cast your vote.
The motion carries 3-2.
Thank you. To all the players and parties, please contact staff. I think they've done a stellar job in reaching out and address your concerns. It's not guaranteed it's going to be approved, but you think you need a seat at the table, we're giving you a second seat. Next item on the agenda is item number 23. Special order of the day. Mr. City Manager, it's considered. Consider adoption of resolution making findings pursuant to the CEQA guidelines, section 15162 and 15168C2, and adopting general plan amendment number 0325, an amendment to the noise element of the city general plan to clarify its alignment with existing language in the city's noise ordinance and to establish clear standards for new development projects while protecting the community noise environment. This is a special, it's not a public hearing or anything. Okay.
It is a public hearing.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, Madam City Clerk, was properly posted?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. The notice of public hearing has been given pursuant to the applicable law, including but not limited to the proof of timely publication received by me. Agenda posting requirements were met for the individuals and the organization. The posting affidavits are on file in the city clerk's office, and we did not receive any written communication for this item.
Is there anyone here wanting to speak on this item?
Not that I'm aware of, Madam Mayor.
Okay. We're going to close the public hearing. Staff deliberation. Councilman Deere, is that you?
Yeah, if the staff is clear on it, I'll go ahead and make a motion, Madam Mayor. To waive further reading and adopt resolution number 26-009, resolution of the City Council of the City of Carson making findings pursuant to secret guidelines sections 15162 and 15168C2, and adopting General Plan Amendment number 03-25, an amendment to the noise element of the city's general plan to clarify its alignment and existing language in the city's noise ordinance, and to establish clear standards for new development project while protecting the community noise environment.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any further discussion? Cast your vote. Oh,
The vote is unanimous. Motion carries.
item number 24, is that what we're on now?
Yes.
Yes.
Consider an update on the city projects. Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This particular item is a discussion and report to transmit the monthly ongoing informational updates that we provide to the City Council at Madam Mayor Holmes' request, and regarding various city projects that are underway or will be beginning soon. These detailed updates on projects are provided in the following city function areas, such as Community Development Department, we have our Public Works Department, Information Technology, as well as our Public Safety Department. And so at this time, there is an exhibit. We have exhibit number 1, which will be provided through our Community Development Department. And we'll have our director, Mr. Nathan Freeman, provide that brief update.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, distinguished council members. Every month, the Community and Economic Development Department provides a comprehensive report of projects that are going through the various machinations of the entitlement and permitting process. So the staff has provided a report. It's dated February 3rd. I'm available to answer any questions relative to the projects that are listed.
Could you just go over a few of them for me? A verbal report so our residents will know they may not be reading this entire agenda package. Want some that are pressing that.
Sure.
Okay.
So included in your packet are updates on projects like the Carson companies. They are planning to go through the entitlement process for the property they own on the corner of University and Central. That is a mixed-use project that they have been working very closely with staff on. That is one project.
And could we say what are they requesting? What are they proposing?
They are proposing retail.
Retail?
Yes, so neighborhood commercial, spaces for small businesses. At one point, they had also considered a couple of drive-throughs on the site. We met with them recently, let them know about the City Council's moratorium. And so we are back at the drawing table with them.
You're back at the drawing table?
Yes, we are, ma'am.
Could you keep us posted?
Absolutely.
Yes, please, Bishop.
If they are so inclined to present those drive-throughs, and if this council thinks that it's suitable for our community, possible variance or something like that, there's a possibility?
So the moratorium is short-term. One of the things that we articulated when this came back to you previously was that staff was going to look at further ways to regulate drive-throughs. Some of the things we've discussed is how do we regulate them to get the types of drive-throughs that I think would be more palatable for this community. Those are things that we are looking at right now. At some point, we're going to come back to you with either a recommendation to how to regulate them better or for you to direct us to continue with the ban.
Thank you.
Any other questions on that particular item? I mean, that project. What else?
I'm sorry, Mayor.
Keep going.
One of the one is one that's come to the Planning Commission. That is 21135.5 Bolsa. That is the project that came before the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission instructed the developer, this was all single-family homes, to conduct a community meeting, which is scheduled. The Planning Commission also directed the developer to do a traffic study. So both of those things, the traffic study has been completed. Our engineering department agreed with the traffic scoping, and there is a community meeting that is scheduled for February 26th.
I'd like to attend that meeting.
I'd be happy to forward that over to you, Mayor.
Thank you. It will be in their neighborhood, or what have they decided where they were going to host it?
I do not know the location, but I'm happy to report back.
Whose district is that?
Talking about the Central University?
No.
No.
Oh.
The
This
Bolsa.
is Bolsa.
It's down off of Main. It's in a cul-de-sac. Is that your district? Well, we'll figure that out, but I think whose district it is, you guys should, one of you, I will be there, but what's the address?
The address is 21135.5 Bolsa.
Oh, Councilman Deere, is that your district?
Yeah, I'm confirming it now, but all these ads keep popping up on my phone.
Okay, if a council, whoever district it is, it's 2. It's in District 2. If it is, I will be there, and I'm sure the council person that represents that district should be there.
Jim Deere will be there as well.
Thank you, Mr. Councilman Deere.
Thank you.
And make sure we find out where the location is. My big concern was, as I mentioned when I drove there, was it's in a cul-de-sac, and how it's going to disrupt the 6 houses that's there with all these big trucks, and the quality of life that's going to impact the residents that's in that area. So I don't know what they're coming up to remediate those. Those are my concerns and the residents' concerns that I met with over there.
And those are all things that we can address during that community meeting.
Appreciate it,
Mayor.
Mayor.
Happy to forward all that information over to you.
Thank you. Send it to Councilman Deere also.
Yeah, thank you. I want to know if it's going to be dealing with that vacant lot that's basically landlocked. It's adjacent to Reflections Mini Park. It's immediately east of Reflections Mini Park. There's a very large open area. Is that going to be involved with this project? That's a question to staff.
So, yes, I believe it is, if we're thinking of the same lot, it is landlocked. There is access from one of the cul-de-sacs that the mayor referenced, and those are some of the things that my colleagues in the engineering department are looking at right now. Those are things that were considered in the traffic scoping study that their consultant did.
And that would be Foxwell Avenue.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's going to create a traffic issue in the way that cul-de-sac's set up. All right, well, at the community meeting, the mayor and I will find out what the residents want. Thank you.
Next.
One other on the list that's worth mentioning is the Phillips 66 project that is currently going through entitlement right now. As we all know, that the Phillips 66 refinery is throttled, meaning they're in the process of shutting down. Phillips 66 has engaged with the city in terms of how they are going to redevelop that site. The proposal as of today is to transform it into about roughly 3.8 million square feet of industrial space spread out over multiple buildings. We are going through the entitlement process with them right now. We are also engaging with them on the level of community benefits that would be associated with that project.
Thank you. Is there anything else?
It's a long list, Mayor. I'm happy to.
No, something that is of interest that our residents.
So I know that housing is near and dear to the heart of the council in this community, and we are currently working with our development partner Faring and Lennar to make sure that the Carson Triangle and the Envision Avalon projects are moving smoothly. On 213th and Avalon, Faring is also proposing what we call the Avalon West project that is currently under review. And that includes 100, or will include at some point, 157 residential units, which we are very excited about.
Where is this going to be?
This is right on the corner of Avalon and 213th.
Single family?
It is condominiums. So for sale condominiums?
For sale condominiums?
That's correct.
Okay.
So think about where the existing trophy parking lot is. This would take its place.
Oh, that's good. Anything else of interest? Keep going. I mean, if you don't, I just want to make the residents aware of these projects that are coming to our great city known as the Jewel of the South Bay.
Absolutely. One other that I'd like to mention, Mayor, is we had a meeting yesterday with KB Homes. KB Homes has built several projects in our community, most notably the Willow Project. And the success of that project has inspired them to seek out other opportunities to construct in our city. We met with them yesterday to talk about 23529 Figueroa Street. And that is currently I believe it's a vacant self-storage building that they are looking to acquire, to demolish, and build new single-family homes there.
Great. Have we had any contact with the city-owned property on Main and Figueroa? We're across from Veterans Village. Any conversation with potential development or anything?
Madam Mayor, there hasn't been any more frequently in the last, I would say probably maybe 6 to 9 months. There was some conversation prior, if you all recall, for that particular portion of property. But I think it is on the list for once we go to ICSC to see if there's something that can be developed on that piece, because I know it's a piece of parcel that you all have been interested in. I think the last conversation, if I'm not mistaken, was the conversation about potential extension of some type of veteran or senior housing or veteran housing or something. But that was really the last real strong look into that at that point. But I think we're gonna still circle that wagon again and see if there's something that can potentially be developed there as you've requested. Like I said, it is part of another piece of property that we have identified to try to showcase.
Thank you. Any questions from my colleagues?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Councilman Deere.
Okay, to staff, of course, I've expressed this previously. That intersection, the mayor actually meant Figueroa and Carson Street, not Main Street, for the location. It's a prime retail location. We need more retail business built in Carson. We need more retail tax-producing businesses in our city, because we, unfortunately, as everyone knows, we don't get the property tax that other cities get, and we need more retail tax, and we need sales tax to our city to keep our city healthy in the long run. So we keep consuming prime retail property and building houses. We're not a bedroom community by any means, but we're making a big mistake. Now, already, the Planning Commission has approved over 50 townhouses right behind that property, behind the Southland Credit Union, behind the urgent care medical clinic. So all that property is going to be consumed in housing, and the prospects of a retail development at that intersection diminish every time we make that mistake. So it's already too late at this point, I believe. Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to say these are condos and help us reach our arena numbers. Am I not? Thank you. That's top priority also. So I want to commend the Planning Commission for realizing what we need to do. Housing is very important in my mind, and that's where the councilman and I differ. He says retail. I say housing. I want to keep my people in houses, nice homes. And I think that will enhance the city of Carson. It brings a different level of income here with more disposable income. So I so that is all I have to say about that. Does anyone else have anything to say on this item? Okay. Thank you so much for that report. I like it on what do we say, Mr. Mayor? City Manager. This is on every item. I'd like to keep it on discussion.
Okay, we'll do, Madam Mayor. Yes.
Okay. And now I'll go to item number, I think it's the last item. 26. That's consideration on local uncontested appointments to the city commissions, committees, and boards. To Keyshawn, my other new addition, could you come to the podium, please? To everyone, this is Keyshawn Graves, my new field rep. And I just want to commend you for doing an outstanding job. I think you've hit the ground running. I haven't missed a beat. You
Madam
made
Mayor.
sure that I'm on point. Not only did I want to introduce you to the staff on this Women's Issues Commission.
Yes.
I see that we have a pending. I know we made a mistake at the last meeting, I think.
We would like to reinstate Connie Dela Cruz Manio.
Okay. To the Women's Issues Commission, and also I think we have a pending for Veronica. You said there was the other person.
Veronica is currently in vacancy number 3,
Mm-hmm.
and we have an open vacancy for our alternate number 1.
So we're gonna reappoint Connie to the vacant
We're going to reappoint Connie to the actual commission. She is not going to be an alternate.
Oh, okay.
So we still do have one alternate space available. We have Monique Fisher in alternate number 2, and we have Veronica Johnson in alternate number 3.
Okay. Madam City Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have Veronica Johnson as a pending alternate, number 1. We have Monique Maxon as alternate number 2, and then alternate number 3 is vacant, and then you have a regular vacancy on the Women's Issues Commission.
That will be Connie Manuel being reinstated.
Got it.
So that is my motion for the Women's Issues Commission.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, council, and staff.
Mayor, do you want a motion?
Yes,
to
please.
ratify? I'll move to ratify the mayor's appointments.
I'll second it. It's been moved and properly second. Oh, Arlene, I'm sorry. That's on just the women's issues. Then I'm going to give you the, yes. And then you're next. Okay. Mayor Pro Tem, are you voting?
The vote is unanimous. Motion carries.
Councilwoman?
Yes, okay. My vacancy for the planning committee is J. Balgamino, Balgimino. Jay. Yes. And then for Public Works, will be Brandon Fields. And he is a alternate on the public safety. Yes, I'd like to appoint him as a commissioner, my uncontested on Public Works.
Does anyone else have, that's it, Councilwoman?
That's it. Thank you.
Bishop? That's it. Let's vote on the uncontested we don't have to, but the Public Works. Is that, is the planning your uncontested also? Yes. And the Public Works is your uncontested?
Yes.
We don't need to
It's
vote
all
on
good.
it. It's all good.
Yes.
Okay. I need some clarification. I got a note here saying, who's on the committee, ad hoc committee for the Gil Smith? You met the last time. Have you been on that committee? The Gil Smith, I put an ad hoc committee together for the Gil Smith Monument.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It was established by minute order, and it is yourself, Madam Mayor, and Dr. Hilton.
I can't keep up with you. Would you? Think I had Hicks down in case we did not show up. It was 3 of us or something. But
I will
Councilman
add
Hicks,
that.
do you want to stay on that committee?
I wasn't on the committee, but I did contribute a whole lot of information. I hope they just take my notes.
No. I'll remove myself, and it'll be Councilman
they
Hilton.
could take my notes and go.
It'll be Councilman Hilton and MPT Hicks. I will remove myself.
We will update that on the exhibit.
Thank you. Yes.
I'd like to publicly thank the city clerk and her staff for following up on James Calhoun. He had not come to meetings because there was no quorum issue, and now he's attending, and I want to thank you, Dr. Bradshaw.
You're welcome, Councilman.
You're welcome.
So the meeting is scheduled for when? Mr. Public Works Director, did they meet the last time? I know we canceled one. The February meeting is where.
The January meeting was not scheduled, but February went swimmingly. It's Monday, and it will go swimmingly.
So we need to reach out and remind everyone to be at this meeting.
Yes, ma'am. We call and send emails to make sure that we have a quorum.
You spoke to a warm body?
We will be speaking to a warm body, yes, ma'am.
Not a recording.
Okay, thank you. Memorial adjournments? What? Oh, all communications for non-agendized items.
Oh, that's right. There's 2, Madam Mayor. Samuel McKinney.
He left.
Okay. June. Left 2. No, we didn't. There we go. Good evening, June. Good to see you. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk, and good evening, Madam Mayor, to all the council members, especially MPT from the District 3 also. Actually rhymes. Of course, a great way to start the new year, by the way. Happy New Year, by the way, to all of you guys. From the office of Assemblyman Mike Gibson, we'll be hosting a free tax prep event. Of course, this coming Friday, February 6th, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Community Resource Center of Wilmington. Of course, reminder that appointments are required. So if anyone would like to have their free tax prep, to join us in the free tax prep event, feel free to call our office at 562-252-0865. And of course, our office is partnering with the Board of Equalization for the free tax preparation event. And of course, once again, Happy New Year to the magnificent council members, staff, and the great city of Carson from Assemblyman Mike Gibson. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, June. Madam Mayor, that concludes public comment.
Council members' request to add items to the agenda. Oral communications, council members. MPT Hicks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A couple of items for staff to the city manager. I think it's part of the report, but just to give an update on the traffic signal for Central and University Drive, the left-hand turning signal.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I'll have Dr. Rogers give a brief update in regards to that particular item.
Traffic signal on University and Central is in the works. We're looking at doing construction in 2026. We've already been through design. It has gone through the
various phases, and now we're just looking at implementation. So it is moving along as humanly quickly as we can, but it is in the works to get done.
And then the backup to that is University Drive from Avalon to Wilmington.
University Drive is scheduled to break ground in March.
Okay. Residents, you hear that? University Drive to break ground in March for that road to be done between Avalon and Wilmington. The next is Mills Park. It was brought up. The residents are really concerned that will this park ever be completed or anything be done to Mills Park? And I see the director's not here for Parks and Recreation, but does the city manager have any update information or through?
Which park were you?
Mills Park.
So Mills Park, as you know, MPT, that we had to excuse the contractor. The contractor was not performing to Carson standards, so we excused that contractor. Now we're working through legal to make sure that we take the proper steps to secure another contractor. So we're just in that gray phase right now, but we're actively moving along. We've got the equipment from the old contractor. We're negotiating that closure, and then once we get that done in the proper legal steps, then we can go back out to bid and get another contractor in that's willing to meet the standard of Carson.
So that'll take to when? About what time frame?
I can't speak on the legal portion of it, but we were pretty well into completing the project. I don't foresee it being very long once we're able to secure another contractor. My hope is by the end of this year, but that is my hope.
Okay. It's hope.
December?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
He said December?
December.
Juneteenth. It won't be ready by then, I'm sure of that. No.
I don't see Juneteenth because of the legal issues.
Oh, okay. Then my last is addressing logistics in our community. I know we have the trucks. We need to look and bring back a report to the council on our truck routes and where our truck routes are located at within our city. We need to look at where these truck routes are going through our community. My biggest concern that many of these 16-wheelers are running through neighborhoods. And I've got several photos and I've turned them in. They're just disregarding the no truck signs that you're supposed to drive through. So my real concern is to come bring a report so we know where all these truck routes are located within the city, because we may need to look at where they're located and do some changes or some modifications.
Yes, we are. My team and I are actually looking at that through a traffic study. We're in the beginning phases of that to see if we can reroute some of these trucks because of all the streets that we're paving. We want to make sure that they last a long time, and that's kind of part of the implementation of all the paving that's happening. So we're moving in those steps. So that is part of that plan on the long term, but that's where we are.
Mayor Pro Tem, if I could add as well, the enforcement of the existing truck routes and those that are deviating from, public safety team is working with the Sheriff's Department to ensure we do some enforcement activities, because we have seen the same.
And it has increased. It's just
Correct.
They just blatantly don't care.
Yep.
So
yes.
All right, thank you. Oh, my last thing, I did attend the ribbon cutting at the Forcia Park. Very well received. Very nice festivities. The Forcia family was very, very pleased. Surprised when we did the group photo, they said this is only a portion of the family, and they took up a long section, and they said this is only a portion of the family, and all of us are not here. I said they fill the entire park of the entire Forcia family, but to the entire family, thank you for allowing James Forcia to be a part of this family, the City of Carson's family. And if you have not visited the Forcia Park, please go by and check it out. It really looks nice, and it's put together very well. Thanks to the staff and putting that bad boy together. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman.
Thank you for mentioning Forcia Park. I was going to mention that, but great job to staff. That project was just outstanding. And again, everyone was positive and very thankful for the city of Carson to put that all together. So thank you. That's one. I want to thank Madam Mayor. You were supposed to attend the Conference of Mayors, but you had to stay back and deal with some of the
Shenanigans.
court festivities in the city of Carson. Festivities. So thank you. I was allowed to attend the United States Conference of Mayors, and it was very successful. And we talked about the economy, affordable housing, youth and elderly seniors, the homeless crisis. Um, the mayor of Minnesota came out and talked about the ICE operations. And so there was a lot of important issues that were discussed during this meeting. But one of the other important issues was the World Cup in LA 28 coming. And that was a great conversation. I did secure 250 soccer balls from FIFA. So let's follow up on that. But one of the things that I wanted to mention is a lot of people were asking how they can get involved in LA 28. So I know Armene, you are our LA 28 contact, but I also got questions regarding World Cup. So I just had some meetings where they're asking, how can the other countries communicate with the city of Carson and see if they can get involved in whatever they can for World Cup and LA 28. So I don't know if we have our own individual meeting. Is it just you? And when they contact me, can I drop your name and
Please,
you
that would
are
be
the one.
very much appreciated. Send them our way. We have a whole team supporting the effort, but I will
Yes.
gladly be the liaison and take in
Yes.
all the information. So please send them my way.
Thank you. And then also, is the site, I keep telling them, go to the City of Carson website and they can sign up to volunteer and be part of the LA 28 team and also the World Cup. So these are other, even council members, elected officials from other cities all over Southern California. They want to be a part of it. So can they go into that City of Carson website?
Our website has not been launched specifically for the Olympics.
Okay.
It will be very shortly. We're fine tuning it, and there will be a volunteer button that they can solicit, and it'll take them through instructions on how they can sign up. But between now and then, I am more than happy to be that conduit. So please feel free to send them my way.
Thank you. And did I say it right? Armene.
You definitely did.
Okay.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
I'm going to get T-shirts that say that. Contact you. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you very much. I want to personally thank you for attending on my behalf. My city attorney had me locked up for a week and a half, but I was held hostage. I had scheduled myself to go, but thank you.
Yes.
And thank you for that report. We were represented, and it's amazing to see how many people know Carson now.
Oh, yes. I just want to add that it was a beautiful high of 25 degrees and a low of 8. Yes. So it was beautiful. So thank you for that, Madam Mayor.
Our MPT was tied up, so we had to have representation. The doctor was tied up with me. Okay, Councilman, Dr. Hilton.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I wanted to let the residents of the mighty District 1 know we will be having town hall meetings in the month of March at Stevenson and Hemingway. And I'm also going to be in Colony Cove to make a town hall meeting as well. So please be on the lookout as we will deliver that information to your doorstep. And then also this may be a concern for public safety. Also, this probably falls under public safety's purview. The church on Avalon next to Wells Fargo, the grass is growing. I know that they're in the process of trying to build something there, but it's an encampment being built. So I would love for you guys to make sure that we either contact that owner or make sure that that encampment is not built. There are people living on the property now. So I want to make sure we bring that to the attention and to make sure that the library that's on Avalon, Martin Luther King, They're still migrating there. Nothing wrong with taking care of our unhoused, but we don't want to make it a habit of them doing it on our streets. So we have programs and people in place for that. So just wanted to bring that to your attention and bring that to our residents' attention. We hear you, we heard you, and we're looking into it. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And to the staff, this is a hot item. I call at least 3 times a week on it. That's on a good week. And the bishop is calling. We need to make that to visit it more frequently, like morning, because they're aware of when we're off work. I mean, when the code enforcement is not at work. But that should be something that you check morning, noon, night, in between, all over. Because I know we have 4 offices and the city is large. And I know there's been some problems in South Carson. But when we bring it to you that these are hot spots, and I'm driving down the street and I see it, I think I called at 8 o'clock in the morning. Was it 8, Bishop? No.
Our 9 o'clock, 9:30 meeting that we've been having over the last week and a half together.
But I see them driving, and that's the first thing that I do, and I encourage my colleagues to do the same thing. When you're out, look around. If you see it, I don't care where I am, I stop. I'm going to call Robert Lennox. I'm going to call Dave Roberts. I'm going to call Nora. I want to call until I get a warm body. And then I call public safety manager. I call everyone because this is important, that we not let our city become like other cities. And I'm also concerned about this property that's owned by Bodacious Barbecue that's in between McDonald's. Yes. Not Bodacious, Our Father's Barbecue. Our Father's Barbecue. Oh, Bodacious was good barbecue. Because I remember his barbecue. But anyway, yeah, we need to be more diligent. Councilman Deere?
Thank you. I also attended the Fusia Park public reopening event on Saturday, January 24th. It's $15 million in park improvements. Is really beautiful. The park looks great. So that leads me to ask the question to the staff. Carriage Crest Park, similar to MPT's question about Mills Park. Can you give us an update on when Carriage Crest Park will be open to the public? The residents are asking me, and I would like to be able to give them a definitive answer to the city manager, to whatever staff he designates.
Good evening, Councilmember Deere, Deputy City Manager Tom Toman. The latest that we have on Carriage Crest Park, we're anticipating it to be open in June of this year. We're shooting for May, but June is likely a time where we could have some type of grand opening for the community.
So May or June is realistic?
Yes, sir.
Great. Good news. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. We did memorial adjournments? Memorial adjournments.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. These are the names that I received. Fusako Igi, Angelina De Guzman, Paulino Paul Mejia, Carl Calvin Dunn, Eloise L. Jones.
Bishop?
Yes, I also have another name that I would like to add. Marietta Alexander. This is Mike Gibson's mother-in-law, his wife's mother.
Oh, she passed.
Yes, she passed. Very active in our senior and our stroke center.
Carson Christian Church.
Yeah, she wanted everyone to. His wife wanted everyone to know in the stroke center. That's the reason why they haven't not seen her, because she has
feisty.
Passed.
Very feisty.
Yes, very, very. So let's bow our heads. Father, thank you tonight for these families. We pray that you would touch them in this grieving hour. We pray that you would hold near to your promise, not to leave them comfortless. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Thank you. Any comments from staff?
None.
None? City Clerk?
All good, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you.
City Treasurer? All good? For the good of the order, we are adjourned.